Thank you, Secretary General, for your very kind thoughts and remarks on this very significant occasion. We now move to the next item. Excellencies, distinguished members, OAS Permanent Representatives, Secretary General and Assistant Secretary General, National Summit Coordinators, Director of the OAS Summit Secretariat, delegates. On behalf of the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, let me begin by thanking you all for being here today to mark this occasion. 5 months ago, the participation of all our countries at the Port-of-Spain Summit at the very highest levels signaled a universal commitment to a new vision for the Americas and for better economic and social conditions for all people. In addition, the hemispheric meeting emerged stronger and more valid than ever with the global landscape. The transfer of the mantle of host of the next Summit of the Americas is therefore not only procedural, it signifies the continuation of the summit process and a continuing commitment to the citizens of the hemisphere. The fifth Summit of the Americas as an event concluded many months ago. However, the commitments made during the summit and the mandates derived from them have not. The passage of time has not lessened their urgency or importance. Indeed, recent developments continue to make action more necessary than ever. It was only 3 years ago that Trinidad and Tobago assumed the chairmanship of the Summit of the Americas process, and this time may appear short, but the regional situation changed drastically over that time. In 2006, the economic growth rate in Latin America and the Caribbean was just under 6%, continuing a nearly 5-year trend of positive growth. Forecasts at the time indicated a continuation of this trend into the near future. And, for example, ECLAC forecast in 2007 that the growth rate for 2009 would be 4%. A more recent projection gives us a much different picture. And overall growth in 2009 is expected to be not just less, but in fact negative in many cases. During the period from when Trinidad and Tobago assumed the chairmanship of the summit process in September 2006 to the fifth summit in April, there were at least 18 presidential or parliamentary elections in the hemisphere. Out of these elections, 13 resulted in either a change of government or a change of leader. And we should also note the passing of one of our leaders, and this is Prime Minister John Compton of St. Lucia in September 2007. And furthermore, since the fifth summit, at least 2 new governments have been sworn in, Panama and El Salvador. My main point is that a lot can happen in 3 years. The direction of the economy can reverse itself. The people can decide on leadership whose vision points to a new direction. Priorities can change and new wants can emerge. While we should be mindful of shifts in direction, either economic or political, in the short term, there are things that do not change. People have basic wants and needs. They need food, water, shelter, and medical care. Education is always seen as a priority. Energy security is a prime concern, and the environment is at center stage. The commitments made at the fifth summit and in the summits of the Americas that preceded it address these issues and more. As we have said before, the list of mandates is long, and the sixth summit will undoubtedly add more. The first paragraph of the Declaration of Commitment of Port-of-Spain addresses the broad objective that is common to all summits, and that is a firm commitment to protect and promote the political and civil liberties and improve the social, economic and cultural well-being of all our peoples by advancing joint solutions to the most pressing challenges facing our hemisphere. The fifth summit brought a new resolve and agreements to address the current financial and economic crisis, to initiate or strengthen the review of national social protection, inclusion and poverty eradication programs, to support the national development efforts of middle-income countries to achieve the objectives of the Millennium Declaration, to incorporate the surveillance of non-communicable diseases and their risk factors into existing national health information reporting systems by 2015, and to incorporate issues of ageing into public policy agendas. In order to promote greater economic activity, we forged a consensus to facilitate investment in public-private partnerships in infrastructure and other relevant sectors in order to promote business development, economic growth and social development with equity, and to simplify the processes involved in establishing and closing business ventures, with the goal of reducing business startup time to a maximum of 30 days by 2015.